What's up guys, this is Ghost. Today I'm going to be bringing you a tutorial on how to use the jets in Battlefield 3. I feel like the jets are somewhat of a stumbling block for people. People who get in there just feel intimidated. They feel like they're going to get shot down by a better pilot, and they're just really not going to help their team out so much. But if you can figure out how to use a jet properly, it's going to give your team a huge advantage. So let's get things underway. This series is probably going to be a few episodes because there's a lot of material to cover. But first things first, we're going to be starting with, the boring stuff, sensitivity and hotkeys and things like that. I'm also going to be covering how to use the machine gun, as that is going to be your primary weapon at all times, even when you've unlocked superior weapons. So, as for my mouse sensitivity settings, that's what they look like. Unfortunately, there's no numbers that I can read off for you guys here, so you'll just have to look at that as the in-game sensitivity and try and copy that as best you will. As for my mouse, I use a mouse with 6 different sensitivity settings, and I use the 6th one, so that's actually 3600 DPI. I do also use a mouse acceleration fix for Windows, which basically gets rid of any mouse acceleration from your Windows mouse settings altogether. Except for that, it's pretty much just key bindings. I bind pitch up to space and pitch down to left alt. This just makes dogfighting a lot easier. That way you can just hold spacebar down when you're constantly turning in and out trying to get behind a jet, instead of having to be moving your mouse right across the pad again and again and again. It really makes things a lot easier. And similarly for pitching down, I use the left alt. Except for that, the only other thing is I use F to switch weapon. I'm not sure if that's a default setting or not. I really don't remember because I've always used it. But yeah, that's it for the sensitivity and key bindings. So one of the first things I want to talk about is the best way to take off. Now, instead of just flying straight ahead, what I like to do is basically turn towards the rear of my base, because that way you're going to stay out of the sight of the enemy. If you fly straight down there towards the center of the map and everything's happening, you're going to be super visible and everyone is going to shoot you down straight away. Whereas if you fly round here, you get time to check things out, see which bases are under attack, etc., see what the threats are, and then you can swoop in for the kill. Other than that, I would really recommend staying level, flying level as much as you possibly can. As soon as you turn to the side, you're going to be a much bigger and easier target to hit. If you stay level, much smaller target. So, next I'd like to talk about the machine gun. This thing is going to be your best friend as a pilot, and it's the only thing that you get when you start off and you have 0 unlocks, so you better get good at using it. Now, as with everything, of course, practice makes perfect, but the best tip I can give you with leading your targets is to try and keep the entirety of the big circle outside of your target. So, let's say you're trying to shoot down a plane. If the plane is inside the circular reticle, you're most likely not going to hit it. Try and lead ahead all the time. Now, obviously it depends on the speed of the target. You're not always going to be firing at a jet, and it's not always going to be moving at the same speed or be the same distance from you. But I try and use that rule as a rule of thumb, so to speak, for the jets at least. Now, when you see a jet and you decide to close in on him and take the advantage, don't fire prematurely. As soon as you fire on his tail, if he doesn't realise you're already behind him, he's going to know about it. You're much better off waiting for a chance and a good open shot, and then taking that. Now, trying to predict where a target is going to go can be extremely difficult, and since they can pretty much move in whichever direction they wish, you should try to use burst fire. Your machine gun only lasts for a few seconds, and there's nothing more annoying than having a guy in your sights and not being able to shoot at him. However, when it comes to taking down helicopters, you're safe with full auto. Helicopters are often barely moving, if at all, and you can usually predict exactly where they're accelerating. So aim in the direction they're moving, account for the bullet drop, and just give one full auto spray, and it's usually enough to take them down. Well, that pretty much covers the machine gun. When it comes to loadouts, I usually use flares, air radar, and rocket pods. In my opinion, flares are way more reliable than the ECM jammer. And if you haven't unlocked anything yet, don't sweat it, because flares are actually the first thing you unlock, and in my opinion, the most important unlock of all. However, I'll cover loadouts for all situations fully in a later video. Well, that concludes episode 1. I hope you guys found this useful. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or requests for future episodes. And please feel free to like or dislike the video. This is a brand new YouTube channel, so I'd really appreciate that. It's mainly going to be covering competitive gaming, such as Battlefield 3. I also do some stuff like StarCraft 2, so I'm mainly into the competitive stuff. So if that's what you're into, feel free to subscribe, and thanks for watching.